Hey guys, it's George with Firehouse Music, and today I want to talk to you about bass and specifically a topic that pertains pretty much all musicians. I think the biggest problem that 100% of all of the students that come in, whether they are self-taught or they're brand new beginners, there's a major issue with rhythm and understanding rhythm. I think part of the problem is how rhythm is taught. People teach rhythm in a very, traditionally, rhythm has been taught in a very obscure way. I know that was in my case when I was learning in school. You learn the notation and everything, and it's very cryptic. And it took me a while to understand how rhythm works. And really, all you have is a ratio of notes over time. Rhythm is, if you look at each note as an event, right? And those events are happening over time, that's rhythm. That's all it is. So now, if we want to look at it in a practical way, the bass is an excellent instrument because you want the bass to tie with the drums. But if you're a guitar player, again, don't run away because you can take a lot out of this. You know who you are, guys. Like those guitar solos that don't fit any sort of, you can't even quantize them. That's terrible. Let's try to stick to rhythm. And that's true also if you're trying to figure something out. Sometimes you play a lick by somebody and you're like, man, it doesn't sound right. 9 times out of 10 is because you got the rhythm wrong. So you get solid at your fundamental rhythms first, and then you start getting more complex. If you really want to study rhythm in depth, and you're a guitar player or a bass player, there's William Levitt put out a book a long time ago called Melodic Rhythms for Guitar, but you can use the same thing for bass, and it's brutal. Like every single syncopated rhythm that there is, you can find in that book, and it's an excellent way to torture students or yourself just with rhythm. But if you're just looking for foundational stuff, I'm gonna give you that right now. We're gonna play over a simple chord progression. If you're a guitar player, you can strum along if you want. I'm just gonna be playing the bass line, and it's very simple. The first thing we're gonna do is let's define the chord progression. It's a simple chord progression. It's E minor, or for a bass player, it's E. So the open fourth string, then C, and you'll see why I'm not focusing on the left hand because I want you to see my right hand. So you have E, right? Then we have C, which is going to fret 8 or fret 3 on the third string. I like fret 8 because it's bigger. Then fret 5, which is A for you guitar players, and back to E minor or open fourth string. Very simple bass line. So, and maybe let's take a transition. So we're not just pumping 8 notes the whole time. We're gonna play on the fourth beat. We're gonna play 3, 2, and that's G and F sharp. But don't worry about that. Those are literally just 2 notes that are gonna take us back, sort of like a turnaround. So if we're playing quarter notes, let's say that our tempo is. Let's take it slow. So the tempo is like 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll start with just quarter notes, right? I had to reshoot the video because you couldn't hear the bass. It was too quiet. So the demonstration. Because I didn't want to reshot the whole thing. Something fell over there. Okay, so the demonstration. Quarter notes first. So we have So I was going to cut it off, but so something that what I did there, we started with quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 2 measures per change. Then we have eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we have triplets, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then we have 16ths, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Now when you're playing triplets, and this is specific to bass, although you can use this on guitar too, in tremolo technique. When you're playing triplets, this is not the only way to do it. There's a number of different techniques and ways in which you can play. But what I prefer to do, because I like the sound, I play like a traditional tremolo on guitar. So if I'm playing triplets, my ring finger becomes my 1. So if I'm playing quarter notes, I just play with the 2 fingers. I don't really alternate quarter notes. I alternate on eighth notes. So basically my quarter notes are just 1 finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. My eighths, I alternate. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. For triplets, I use 3 fingers. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And to play 16ths, I play 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1 E and So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 and 4 E and. You're able to move, and it feels, as to me at least, I like the feel of having the same pulse going in my hand when I play. So my whole body gets into the rhythm. You may find something different. You may play differently. You may like to alternate, just doing this the whole time, and you vary speed, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you wanted to play 1 and or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 and 4 E and with just 2 fingers, that's fine. But there's that other option there. You get an additional finger, more fingers moving, more speed, because you don't have to move as fast. So try it out, and hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you next time.